Hello, I'm joined by Noel Hannon of Go Secure again, and we're going to be talking today about social engineering. Some of you might be aware of what this is already. Essentially, this is, well, rather than me explain, Noel, I think it might be best if you tell us a little bit about social
Okay,
engineering.
thanks, Phil. So, social engineering is essentially the acquisition of information through non-technical means. We often see it used in conjunction with penetration tests. So, a social engineering exercise will extract information about an organisation, either using open source intelligence through social media, through website analysis, or through making relationships with people via social media or on a personal basis, and then feed that information back to a penetration test team. The same thing can happen in reverse. A penetration test can expose information about a company that's then used by a social engineering team in order to achieve the aim of the exercise, essentially.
So, in other words, many of us think of hacking and sort of attacks on companies and their data as being sort of something done by programmers and hackers from dark bedrooms, and they all wear hoodies in the pictures and in all the movies, don't they?
They do.
But I think what you're saying is that it's not always a hacking task where somebody's in a console and making remote attacks. That social engineering could be done over the phone, it could be done over social media, it could be done face to face with somebody, and gaining information about a person or a business is something that's very often easier to do if you're actually in front of somebody or talking to them, and often people are the weak link. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. So as companies switch on to the requirements of cybersecurity, the technical aspects of it are potentially getting harder and harder to defeat. We do see technical attacks on a regular basis. We do see successful technical attacks, but in theory they should get harder and harder to actually perpetrate. What is very difficult to control technically is somebody just doing their job. So an example would be a service desk or a help desk. They do exactly what they say on the tin, don't they? They're designed to service requests, they're designed to help people. So if you can phone up a service desk and extract information about the company at that point in time that you can then use against them, that is what that desk is designed to do. It's designed to help you. The fact that you've circumvented the process, that's really what social engineering is all about.
Okay, so what are the example risks that most businesses might face from that sort of social engineering attack?
So I think that there's two main risks really. One is our use of social media. So we're quite broadcasty generally these days, quite across all our different kinds of domains. We leak a lot of information about our companies inadvertently. I do an exercise where I can map a company's network from the people they employ. So if an IT department of an organisation employs 10 people that have Cisco qualifications, it's probably entirely likely that they've got a Cisco network and Cisco firewalls and Cisco VPNs.
Interesting. So leakage of information. So the sort of thing where we might want to talk about things which are positive about the business in social media. We have a Cisco accreditation, but the inference there, somebody with hostile intent, with nefarious purpose in mind, can look at that and make judgments and guesses about the sort of network environment and use that to penetrate.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done an exercise like this before where when I presented my speculative network map back to the organisation, they've asked for a copy of it because it's the best network map that they've seen at that point in time.
Let's not say who that was.
Which does indicate a lot about the state of the network for that particular organisation.
Okay.
But the second aspect, you asked for two main risks really, is our essential preponderance for helping people, for being polite. If only tailgating was considered a real kind of social anti activity, we would be in a much better place. Tailgating as in
going in through a door,
holding the door for somebody, or coming through an authenticated doorway. Behind somebody who has been authenticated through.
Gaining access to the premises.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the easiest way to get into a building.
I'm guessing for most businesses, it's the telephone equivalent of that, where you might see a higher numeric risk of information being given out. So, anybody who's anywhere near phones in an organisation will regularly receive phone calls from, could be anybody, asking for information about business, the people in the business, those sorts of things. And all it takes is a little slip in order to give away key info.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd be amazed at the small pieces of the jigsaw puzzle that you require in order to unlock some of the doors within a building, both metaphorically and physically, really. And people are leaking an awful lot of information through social media like LinkedIn. They are very, very helpful when they are asked for information. You will normally target a department that is set up to provide information like that, such as PR or comms, and try and get some information about the company that you can then use against them.
So the talkers and communicators in the organisation tend to be a good route in?
They are my favourite target by most means.
Worth noting, okay, well, it's a big subject, but I suppose if there's one message, it sounds to me like perhaps being just a little bit more vigilant and making sure that everybody in the team is on the same page.
Absolutely, situational awareness is the key. Be a little bit suspicious of everything these days.
Noel Hannon, Go Secure, thanks very much.
Thank you, Phil.